Do you see this? See this pizza? You want to eat this pizza? Too bad, I'm going to. I'm Samah Dada. I'm a cookbook author and recipe developer in the plant-based food scene, which is becoming more innovative every day. I'm on a mission to see how startups, restaurants, and chefs are changing the way we see and eat plants. And I can't wait to show you how to bring more delicious dishes into your kitchen. Who doesn't just love ooey, gooey, and totally decadent cheese? I know you do. Americans truly can't get enough. In fact, we've tripled our cheese consumption since the 70s. Today, the average person here eats a whopping 35 pounds of cheese a year. 35! So it's no surprise that cheese is usually one of the toughest things to give up if you're ditching dairy. But I've got some good news for you. These days, there are a lot of tasty options out there when it comes to vegan cheese, and I'm determined to explore them all. Well, maybe not all, but I've discovered a few really, really good ones. I'm checking out a new type of pizza shop serving up killer pies. Then, I'll be using cashews to make an irresistible dairy-free dip of my own. But first, I'm headed to Riverdel, an artisanal cheese shop making its mark on the plant-based cheese world. Michaela Grobe is the owner and cheesemonger of Riverdel, a vegan cheese shop on Manhattan's Lower East Side. It's the only shop in New York City that exclusively features dairy-free artisanal cheeses. Michaela, thank you for having me. I love a plant-based cheese moment. This is very exciting for me. Tell me about what inspired you to start Riverdel.
Basically, I love cheese. I love animals. I became vegan for the animals, basically. And when I then started looking around for cheese, I found that, you know, it was out there, but you couldn't really access it easily.
Michaela's quest for better vegan cheese started a decade ago, when it was still really hard to find dairy-free cheese that was actually good. While working a high-profile job in the corporate world, Michaela saw an opportunity to open a new type of store.
And I thought, wouldn't it be great if there would be one place, just like any other cheese shop, where everything's vegan? And that's kind of where the idea came from.
She began reading books on vegan cheesemaking and took classes with acclaimed vegan chefs. On the weekends, Michaela went through a lot of trial and error in her home kitchen, while also crafting a plan to start her own food business.
I still had my corporate job, and at one point I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to leave the corporate world and really do something about it. I really thought, I want to try it. If it fails, it fails, right? But at least I tried it.
With enough money saved, she left her job in 2015 and opened Riverdel, named after her two pets, a dog named River and her cat Fidel. But Michaela's mission to make vegan cheese more accessible wasn't just a passion project. It was a pivotal time for a booming business. In 2017, vegan cheese sales hovered around $294 million. By 2022, that figure is projected to reach nearly $600 million. That's a 100% increase. Are you trying to mimic, dairy cheese, or are you kind of creating something in your own line, in your own world?
Yeah.
Or are you just trying to replicate the experience of buying cheese?
Yeah. It's a little bit of everything. It's the experience, it's a product that people know, that looks like a brie, that looks like a Gouda. But then there are also other cheeses that have no equivalent in the dairy world.
Riverdel's blue cheese uses the same fungus that creates the iconic navy marbling in the dairy version. But the shop's Vitopian is a cashew and soy-based cheese with a unique texture that's semi-firm yet creamy.
The way I like to explain to our customers is to not look for imitation. It's the same as if you would make a Gouda from a cow's milk and from a goat's milk. It has the same techniques, the same cultures, but the end product is very different. So it's the same if your base is a cashew nut. The end product's different, but it's still a cheese, in my view at least.
Who do you want to be eating this cheese?
We definitely have a lot of vegan customers, but we also have people that are vegetarian, lactose intolerant. So whereas we do obviously speak to the vegan community, for me it was also important that we reach out and connect with the non-vegan community.
You're targeting the cheese curious.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that it's difficult to make the switch because people are afraid of like, oh my God, what am I gonna eat?
Michaela has the cheesy answer to that question. In the shop's kitchen, she showed me how to make a few of her handcrafted cheeses. Okay, Michaela, what are we making today?
So we're actually making a feta today. It's gonna be a very salty and crumbly and firm one, which is perfect for salads.
Vegan cheesemongers use a variety of ingredients to mimic the taste and texture of dairy cheese. Common bases include a combo of nuts, vegetable oils, and soy products.
So for this one, we're actually using tofu. This tofu has been frozen first, and then we kind of squeeze out all the liquid so it becomes very dry.
Michaela uses firm tofu to create a sturdy feta. It allows the cheese to uniformly slice and dice, but also crumble, just like the traditional Greek cheese. For flavor, Michaela adds Himalayan salt, red wine vinegar, garlic powder, and Greek oregano. Then there are 2 types of fats. So you're using coconut oil here. Why are you using coconut and not a different kind of oil or fat?
Yeah, I mean, coconut oil firms up once it's chilled, so it really helps with just making the cheese firmer.
All right, so I've got some olive oil here.
And that's just olive oil with a little bit of oregano in it, and that's just to get a little bit more flavor. And I'm just using a tablespoon or something like that.
Okay, so we're ready to blend our feta. Everyone's gonna become friends in here. What are we looking for it to be done, and how long are we processing for?
So we're looking for a very smooth, almost shiny kind of consistency. Even when I think it's done, I usually like to give it another minute or 2 just to be on the safe side. You can't overblend this.
Michaela scrapes down the processor every minute or so to ensure the mixture reaches a smooth, creamy consistency. Then it's transferred into cheese molds. We made 2 flavors, one plain and one with an olive tapenade center. The cheeses sit in the fridge for 2 days to firm up.
I made some ahead already, so we don't have to wait overnight and we can taste them right away.
Exciting.
So this is what it looks like when you turn it upside down.
What?
So this is one with the tapenade layer, and here is one with sun-dried tomatoes.
Wait, this is crazy how firm it is.
Yeah.
Can we eat them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, wow. Will you have some with me?
I want to try this one.
Yeah, you try that one. Okay.
So it's nice and salty.
Wow, that's crazy.
Crumbly, but it doesn't taste anything like the tofu that we use as a base.
It feels very light, but still like dense enough to feel like, oh wow, like I'm eating something that could really stand up to a dairy cheese.
Yeah.
This is so delicious. My mind is blown. You have so many different types of cheeses. Can we try some other ones too?
Oh, absolutely.
At Riverdel, a vegan cheese shop in New York City, owner Michaela Grobe makes 2 cheeses in-house. She also imports over a dozen varieties from across the country and around the world. I'm genuinely freaking out because this all looks like real cheese. Like, talk to me about what we're seeing here.
So this one is another one of our house-made cheeses. It's a blue cheese type, and it's aged for about 2 to 3 months. It's definitely more on the funkier side. The base ingredient here is cashews. Then we have a brie style here. The cultures that are being used to create this nice fluffy rind is the same as you would use on a dairy application. This one's from Texas, and it actually has cashews and rice flour.
Oh, what kind of cheese is this?
So that's a smoky aged cheddar style, very nice and firm and very strong and deep flavor. And here we have one that's made in New York, and it's made from macadamia nuts and hemp. And it has a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a spice, something like along the lines of a pepper jack.
I'm very excited to try them. How are we going to assemble it? Can we make like a little cute cheese platter or something?
Oh yeah,
like that?
absolutely. We have a few things that will go really nicely with each of those cheeses.
Nice. Riverdel also carries many cheese board essentials, including crackers, jams, and vegan charcuterie. I would have a party just to serve this. It was almost time to dive in. but you already know, my camera always eats first. I think I have to start with the pepper jack because I love spice.
Absolutely. So it is a bit spicy.
I'm okay.
Yeah, especially the crust is going to be spicy.
I'm ready for it. Whoa.
Yeah?
Once I get started, I just can't stop. Vegan blue with strawberries, anyone?
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my god. That doesn't make sense. And we had to pair the brie with pear. Michaela, you have changed my world today. This is so exciting.
Great.
And I just can't thank you enough. This is incredible. And I hope people really see all the amazing things you're doing with vegan cheese.
I'm really happy to have so many more cheesemakers. We find so many more cheesemakers, like every month there's a new one we start working with.
Thank you so much. If you ever need more tasters,
I'll be sure to
just like hit me up.
Yeah.
I'll be here. I've saved a little room for my next cheesy stop. A New York pizza shop firing up plant-based pies for their screaming fans. I live in Brooklyn, and there are few foods that scream New York City more than pizza. But is pizza really pizza without cheese? Vegan cheeses may be delicious, but capturing the melty, gooey goodness of mozzarella is tough, and that's obviously essential for a perfect pie. Meet one of my favorite vegan pizza spots, Screamers. Come on. Are you kidding? Is it a joke? It's not a joke, it's vegan. Open since 2016, Screamers is similar to many iconic slice spots all over the city. Head chef Joyce Strang has worked at Screamers for 4 years. She developed popular pies on the menu, like the Truffle Scream, a pizza covered in oyster and cremini mushrooms, plant-based parm, arugula, and a drizzle of fragrant truffle oil. Tell me about the inspiration behind Screamers.
I mean, the inspiration was literally just that. It was a bunch of vegans sitting around wanting to have a really good slice of New York pizza, and thus Screamers was born, you know?
What was your background before Screamers?
So I spent a lot of time as a chef for a Mexican restaurant, and I've also worked in American fine dining. But I also find that, like, cooking vegan food, you just take the same methods that you use for cooking anything and just apply it to vegan ingredients.
Screamers serves all types of pies, from classics like pepperoni and a fully loaded supreme, to mashup flavors, like a Reuben pie topped with spiced seitan and Thousand Island dressing. They have 2 locations in Brooklyn and a dedicated following on social media. How far has somebody traveled to get some Screamers pizza?
We get people from all over. Brazil is notable, Germany. And I always feel badly for people that are traveling from out of town when they come here, because then they eat the pizza and then they have to think about the pizza when they go home. And I'm like, I'm really sorry for
you. You ruin people.
Yeah.
What do you say, Joy, to people who are skeptical of vegan cheese? Because obviously cheese is a huge part of pizza.
I'd say honestly, that's probably our #1 challenge, is people come in and they're like, oh, I don't know about the cheese. But vegan cheese has come a long way. You know, before there weren't as many options, but I think there's so much more focus and emphasis on making things more delicious these days, as opposed to just having a alternative.
Screamers uses a specific vegan cheese to replicate the texture of dairy cheese.
So we use BioLife mozzarella.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we've tried many cheeses, but this seems to be the one with the best smell, the best mouthfeel, I think.
What is it made out of?
Coconut oil and potato starch is the base of it. So again, it's very allergy friendly, no soy, no nuts.
Screamers also makes 2 cheeses in-house, an almond-based Parmesan and an ultra creamy ricotta.
Today we're going to make our almond ricotta, which goes on a lot of our core pizzas.
Yay, I'm excited. Okay, so I see you've soaked the almonds to soften them, but they're also blanched as well. There's no skin on them. So why is that happening there?
Yeah, because the skin tends to, give you like a little bit of a different mouthfeel. It's a little bit, a little bit grainy, and also just for color purposes.
Okay, should we get started? What are we doing first?
So we're gonna put in our soaked and blanched almonds into the Roboku. All right, and then next we're gonna go with our salt. Lactic acid goes in there next.
Why are we using lactic acid here?
So it gives it a little bit of a tang, you know, that every cheese tends to have. We achieve that by putting the lactic acid in there.
All right.
Yeah. And then this is the blended oil. It's a little bit of vegetable oil and a little bit of olive oil. And then we're just gonna snap the lid on here.
The mixture blends for a couple minutes. Once everything gets creamy, it's time for a taste. Are we done?
Yeah, we're
Looks
done.
delicious.
You want to give it a try?
I really would.
All right.
I thought you never asked.
Yeah, for sure.
Mmm.
Pretty good, right? Very creamy like ricotta.
Joy, it feels wrong to have cheese without the pizza.
For
so
sure.
what can we put this almond ricotta on top of?
Well, we're gonna show you one of our most popular pizzas, like we mentioned before, the buffalo cauliflower. Yeah, so we'll use this cheese that we just made for that.
All right, what are we starting with?
So this is our dough. We make all of our dough in-house. I'd say the most challenging part about making pizza at home is probably stretching the dough, right? So you want to start by flouring both sides so it doesn't stick. And then we're going to press out all of the air bubbles. And while pressing out the air bubbles, you're kind of like keeping it in this circle shape. So it makes it a little bit easier to stretch and still be formed into this like perfect, beautiful circle. All right, so now that we've gotten our air bubbles out here, we're gonna flip it over on our hand and start the stretching process.
It's like you literally do this in your sleep.
I know, I mean, I probably could, I probably have. All right, so
wow.
there we are.
Did
So-
you just see that though? That was like in 2 seconds. What is the trick to spreading sauce appropriately and
Okay.
well?
So you want to, I always start in the middle and then I circle out like this and I push the sauce to the sides.
There's like a little bit of like hypnosis going on.
Yeah, so take a big handful of the cheese and I will say, I'm gonna give you a little cheese spreading advice here.
Okay.
You wanna start high and then just kind of sprinkle it all around so you get an even coat, okay?
Okay, all right.
You're doing great.
Okay, I was looking for affirmation really quick.
Yes, you're doing a great job.
You see that? The pizza gets a few generous dollops of that luscious ricotta. How does this bake off?
Well, it actually gets a little bit crispy on top, which makes it so delicious.
Okay, what's next?
All right, so then we're going to put our buffalo cauliflower on top.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about how you prepared the cauliflower.
Okay, for sure. So we make our own buffalo sauce here, and we take, we break down cauliflower and we cook the cauliflower in buffalo sauce.
How hot is this oven and how long are we keeping our pizza in there for?
So we keep the oven between 500 and 550, and it's gonna cook for about 6 or 7 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so super quick.
Quick.
Yep, and then it'll be nice, crispy, and golden brown on the edges, and that's how you know it's done.
The 7-minute wait, it felt like eternity. How's it doing in there?
Oh, she's beautiful. All right, let's take one more peek at the bottom here. What do you think?
I think it looks gorgeous.
I think she's
What do you
beautiful.
think?
I think she's ready.
Joy, I've got to document this process.
Okay.
It's just simply a part of my brand.
Okay, do it. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Dun dun dun. That looks so fire. Are you kidding me?
I know, right?
The pizza is served up in true New York style.
You're not eating off of a paper plate. Are you eating pizza?
Are you even eating a New York pizza?
No.
Amazing slice job.
Boom.
Come on.
What do you think?
Stop.
So good, right?
This tastes like real pizza.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say real pizza. It just tastes like regular dairy pizza.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's so delicious.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you, Joy, to be creating this traditional New York slice that's vegan, that gives so many more people an option?
It's awesome. I mean, when people come to New York, when people think about New York, one of the things they think about is pizza. You know, they want to check that box off. Oh, I had a New York pizza. So it's really, really awesome that we've given the option to every single person to be able to do that, you know? You know what I also really like to hear is people who have dairy allergies, or even parents with their children that have dairy allergies, and they are always so happy that we exist, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to have pizza. And like such a big part of a kid like childhood is eating pizza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We do a lot of like little kids pizza parties and stuff like that. You know, it's so cute. So, you know, it's like that little bit of normalcy. It's like, oh, I can't have dairy, but still have really good pizza.
What are some of your favorite reactions from vegans and non-vegans alike who try your pizza for the first time?
Like a non-vegan's reaction, they are like, oh, it's actually good. And you're like, I told you so. Like, yeah. I mean, we have a lot of people that come in and this is their favorite pizza spot and they are not vegan.
If you can't travel to Brooklyn for a Screamer's Pie, don't worry. I've got your dairy-free cheese cravings covered. Up next, I'm making my super creamy cashew queso. One of my favorite things to make when I'm having friends over, if I want a really delicious snack by myself, is my roasted jalapeno queso. You might be wondering, a plant-based version of queso? Are you okay, Samah? But to that I say, I'm perfect. Chile con queso is a Tex-Mex classic that's traditionally made with a great melting cheese and green chilies. We're using cashews as the base and nutritional yeast for a cheesy, savory flavor. And jalapeno, I can't forget about our spice. It's super creamy and cheesy. You won't even miss the dairy. Because I like a little spice in everything that I do, we're adding jalapeno to our queso. I like roasting the jalapeno to get that really smoky, delicious flavor. You've got your jalapeno, drizzle it generously with some olive oil. I like to just rub the jalapeno in the oil just to get it nicely coated. All right, say goodbye to our jalapeno. It's about to get roasted. See you later. The jalapenos roast at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, until lightly charred. Look at our jalapeno. She's cooled. It's blackened on the outside. Also, you'll notice that when you let the jalapeno cool, it's gonna get a little wrinkly. That's totally fine. My secret weapon in creating a really delicious and creamy queso, cashews. I soak them either overnight or flash soak them for an hour in hot water. This allows the cashews to expand. They really get nice and pliable and soft. The first thing I'm gonna do is drain my cashews. Now I'm just gonna add them to my blender. Cashews are in. Now I'm just gonna add 2 cloves of garlic. You might be wondering how I'm gonna make this queso cheesy without the cheese, and to that I say, nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is one of my secret weapons in my plant-based repertoire. It's really amazing for creating a savory and cheesy taste to everything you add it to. Beautiful. This is such a super simple recipe, it's actually crazy. Everything's going into a blender. We're gonna add some salt and some freshly ground black pepper. And don't forget our gorgeous jalapeno. Now to help everything come together, I'm just adding a little bit of vegetable broth. You could use water. I just like using veggie broth because it adds some more taste, some more flavor, and we love more flavor when we're cooking, right? Beautiful. Now we get to blend. Are you excited? I'm excited. All right, let's blend. All right, let's check the texture. Creamy, velvety, queso-y, not a word, but I have my own dictionary. I don't know if you knew that. It's beautiful. My chips have arrived. I'm ready to plate my queso and I'm very excited about it because then I get to eat it. And that's what we're all here for. Check out this texture, okay? Are you checking it out? You sure? Creamy, cheesy, but no cream or cheese. Crazy. All right, I want this to look really cute, so I'm just gonna smooth the top out, the back of my spoon like so. A very simple garnish, just a little bit of pepper. Could you believe it could be that easy? Cheesy, delicious, creamy queso, no dairy involved. Now I get to eat it. Here I go. Chip ready to take a dip. Do you see that? Wow. Ooh, that heat is so good. This is in my cookbook, so I've obviously made this a bunch of times, but it's so good every time. Queso is perfect to share, so luckily I have my whole crew here. So guys, I don't know what you're doing. Get in here. Come on. That's more like it. Teamwork. Awesome. Love that for us. I hope this showed you can make really creamy, delicious, and cheesy recipes without the dairy. It's amazing. You have to try it. Not to be cheesy, or to be cheesy, I hope this inspired you to try cheese without the dairy, because it is just as delicious and versatile.